Hey y'all, I want to go over the Rabbit Lab and I want to use that Rabbit Lab to review something that you've learned in the past. So, in the Rabbit Lab, there were two types of rabbits. There was the brown fur rabbit and there was the white fur rabbit. And the first thing that I want to talk about is what a trait is. A trait is basically what's a distinguishing quality about something. For the rabbits, that was the brown fur and the white fur. So the next vocabulary that I want to focus on is the environment. What's the environment? Well, that's just something that the animal lives in, the surroundings, the conditions. So for that first part of the lab, the environment was basically brown land. Now, what happened in that brown environment? Well, we started out with 136 rabbits during our generation 4, right? Remember, we played it until generation 4. We paused it, we wrote down the number of rabbits, then we added wolves and we let it run again. So at generation 4, when we paused it, there were 136 rabbits, white rabbits, and only 26 brown rabbits. But then over 8 generations, with the wolves eating some rabbits, we ended up with only 3 white rabbits and 128 brown rabbits. And I asked you, why do you think that happened? And we had some really good answers. And the main cause was because if you're a white rabbit in a brown environment, you're going to be very easy to see, especially for a predator. But if you're a brown rabbit and you live in a brown environment, you blend in. That's why the wolves were able to hunt the white rabbits so easily because they stuck out. The brown rabbits blended in. So, what happens if we change the environment to snow? And snow is a white background. So, instead of having a brown environment, now we have a white. What will happen? Well, some of us said that maybe the rabbits won't adapt to the cold, which is a very good idea. Some people said that, hey, I recognize that brown rabbits are going to stick out more. And so I think that the white rabbits are going to be able to survive more. And every single answer was awesome. You guys all thought out of the box, and I really appreciate that. What we're going for here is the fact that, like in the brown environment, the brown rabbits blended in. When we change the environment to snow, the white rabbits blend in. So now the brown rabbits stick out. So in generation 4, we had 136 rabbits, white rabbits, and 26 brown rabbits. And then over a couple generations during generation 8, we had 828 white rabbits. Your simulation said that they took over the world. And why was that? Well, it was because the white rabbits blended into their environment. They had a trait that allowed them to camouflage in the environment. And so they were able to reproduce and survive from hunting and live on and pass that trait along to their children. So, this is the ultimate review of what you learned last year and what we're going to use as vocabulary moving forward. Number one, natural selection. Natural selection is a process, it's the survival and the reproduction of individuals that have different physical traits. So it causes evolution. It's one of the main reasons why evolution exists. The survival and reproduction of individuals based on traits. And we saw that. White rabbits were able to survive in the snowy environment because they had white fur. Their trait was a white fur. They were able to blend in with their environment, and therefore the wolves couldn't see them. The wolves didn't eat them. And so, as you go on in generations and more white rabbits survive, they can pass that trait along to their kids, and you get more white rabbits. That's the process of natural selection. And so, evolution is just the change in traits within a population over time. Evolution doesn't have anything to do with survival or reproduction. It's just the fact that we see a change in traits over time. And that's it. So we're going to be using this vocabulary as we move on. I just wanted to review this from last year just to give you guys a refresher.